ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So when I came into the market this morning, I drew my support and resistance lines. When it looks like a trading range like this, I always like to do that first thing in the morning, just in the off chance that there is a trading range. I get my early analysis done and I can start playing off of these channels immediately. But you can see we broke out of the bottom of that and continued to work lower. Originally I had something just drawn like this, but as you can see we respected this area here, and I drew this wider channel, and you can see multiple bounces off of the top and 2 off of the bottom. This is a pretty confirmed channel here. I was hoping we could get some kind of lower high below EMA here. You can see there's 2 legs up. There's one. Copy this, put it here. So there's 2 legs. The market likes to move in 2 legs. So I was hoping we would bounce off of this trend line, push below EMA, and give me some kind of lower high, or failed second entry long even. But you can see we created the lower high here, pushed down, and then ended up just breaking below EMA. But you can see how prices are, they went up and they're back below EMA, so there's a good chance that we're going to test new low for this downtrend. Now it looks like we have, okay, so this would be our failed second entry long because we broke above this bear bar here. So this isn't really a high probability setup. It's like a third entry long failed. So I can't take that, unfortunately, but I'm thinking we'll test new low. So I'm hoping we can get some kind of short-term channel like this established and then find a second entry short. All right, we created new low for this downtrend. So now that that's played out, I got to wait for a little bit more price action to see where the market wants to go. All right, guys, so we're in this consolidation now. We created new low for this wider downtrend. Now, because you can see this strong spike, we traded down into this trading range. There's a good chance that if we do break out and it succeeds, it's going to be to the downside. So you definitely don't want to be fading the breakout on the bottom of this support level here. So really just got to wait and see where the market wants to go, but there's a good chance that we break lower here. All right, so this downtrend looks pretty decent. We created new low for that other one I had drawn, and we just continued to work lower. We broke out of the bottom of this trading range here, this small one, and just continued working lower. So I got to look for some kind of wider downtrend, and this one looks like it fits pretty well, starting from this high and connecting these ones, and it fits pretty well at the bottom. It's definitely a bearish day, similar to yesterday, where we just had an uptrend, but it was pretty choppy and slow. Today's very similar, where it's a downtrend but pretty slow and choppy. So definitely got to be patient in areas like this. The push phases aren't very strong and the correction phases last forever. So I'm sure we'll get something, but you have to be very careful not to just enter on anything, because it quickly, reverse against you and end up losing you some money. So let's see where it wants to go. All right, we broke out of this channel. So price action rules tell us that we need to create new low, a lower low than the lowest low inside of the channel while it was still active. So I'm expecting it to push down here, but I'm going to go ahead and take my break, be back in about an hour, and we'll see where the market's gone. All right, guys, I just came back from my break. It looks like we attempted to create new low, but we didn't create it, and it looks like we started a new uptrend to the upside. Now we have a first entry long, pullback, second entry long, and then kind of like a higher low confirming that right here. But you have to enter on a double bar entry. I'm not a huge fan of it. It does look good because we have 2-leg pullback to the EMA. You can see this here. You can see it looks like 2 clear legs pulled back. The second entry, or the higher low, triggered above this like bear doji right here, but you got this double bar. You can consider entering that. I'm not a super huge fan, just because, mainly because you have to enter with the double bar, and then you have this really strong bear bar below EMA that closed below EMA, and this bar is the only one that spiked above. So you can consider. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I was hoping for some kind of second entry long here. This looks like a pretty decent uptrend. You can see it's supported the bottom trend line multiple times. It's an alright trade to consider. If you did take it, it's a decent trade. Alright, guys, I just wanted to talk about this setup. You can see how clear 2 legs is. When you see it on the market, this is what you want to see. Now, I'm going to read you guys something I just posted in my Discord community, kind of explaining why these patterns happen and why they're a high probability. So I'm going to start reading now. Human psychology tells us that if you try something once and it fails, you're going to try it again. So if you're a bear in the market and you have enough capital to move the market, you want to try to move the market down, right? So once you try once and you fail, human psychology tells us you're going to try again. And if the second time fails, you're going to throw in the towel at least for a second. So what a second entry long is the bears attempting twice to move the market down and failing, but the bulls are only trying for their second time to move the market up. So the bears are throwing in their towel while the bulls are trying for their second time. So a second entry is getting on the trade when one side has already tried twice and thrown in the towel, and the other side is only trying for their second time. That gives you the highest probability of the trade going in the direction you entered on. The market is made up of thousands of different people with different opinions and different amounts of capital. There's only one thing all humans have in common, and that's psychology, aka fear, greed, FOMO, all of those things. And even though it's a mass collective of other people's opinions, we all have that in common, and that has the potential to form recognizable patterns. That's really the best way I can explain it, and that's why when you're looking for a setup like this, you want to see a clear two-leg pullback, right? Some second entries longs will form, but it looks like just one spike. You know what I'm saying? Like, technically this is a second entry right here, but it just looks like one leg up. If you reset the count from here, new low, first entry short because we broke below this bar here, pull back because we broke above, and then second entry short on this bear bar right here when it broke below that. So that's a second entry short. Just don't look at it in the context, right? Because you're not going short in an uptrend, but that's a second entry short, and it doesn't look like two clear legs. Now, even though this is a higher low confirming a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, and then a higher low forming here, you can see it's two clear leg pullback to the EMA. That's what you want your second entries to look like. Considering this part here, the end of the second leg is already the higher low. If there wasn't a break here, if there wasn't a second entry long and this was the second entry long and you don't have a good opportunity to enter, you can consider a higher low above EMA. It can't go too far up. You want it to form pretty quickly. You want to see it break above and then form the higher low pretty much immediately for you to consider. But that's really what you want to see, guys. So I just wanted to kind of go in depth with the human psychology side of this strategy that we trade and kind of give you guys a rundown on why and what we want the market to do when we're looking for these setups, right? All right, guys, we're really starting to chop here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Overall, pretty decent price action, decent downtrend working lower. There's a lot of empty room. It's weird that we didn't create new low. There's a chance we still will, because the bigger the trend, the more of a pullback we'll get normally before we create new low. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Feel free to join my Discord community. I'm going to be live screen sharing my chart every day, and we're talking about price action, where we think price is going. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading my live charting sessions every day. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your trading.